Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're talking Harry's visa. That's right. Is this frowny complainer going to be allowed access into America? We don't know. We're going to get into that and lots more. But with me today is my own pouty visa control man. I don't know what that means. Say hi.
I'm not pouty. No, I'm actually not pouty. Hey, this is Jay, also known as Dr. Bad Vibes on YouTube and Twitch. We're here to talk about sad substances.
I like it. Ooh, that could be Harry's new nickname, Sad Substances. Yeah, so Hank and Skank in the news again because there's lots of drama over Complainerson's visa and what's going on there. And why would he admit to everybody about all the substances he took? I suspect Meghan was behind that, just a hunch. But we'll get into all that. Let's take a look at this article coming out of Daily Mail. So it reports exclusive Prince Harry could be denied. I like how denied is a capitalist entry into the U.S. by any border guard. That's a lot of people who read his admission of substance taking and spare, claim legal experts. Okay, I can't stand the guy either, but this title kind of cracks me up a little bit. It says it means Harry could be barred from returning from trip to London next month. Border guard would be within rights to stop him, although scenario is unlikely. If he previously disclosed his substance use in his visa application, however, he would not be questioned about current use. Okay.
So it's a very technical idea, probably unlikely just because of the amount of money they have. Because if you have that much money, you're above everything legal. But it is fun to think about. Of course, the big hole in the other hole is that that's assuming the guards actually read Spare, despite how many copies they may have sold. I mean, how many people actually read it? So he may be clear just on that. But I mean, realistically, like, just because he admitted it, they could get him, but would they? I mean, I'm sure Motley Crue went on some international tours. They came back in no problem. I mean, think of how many musicians that sang openly about whatever they were doing and then came back. But I mean, from a technical standpoint, probably not wrong. Would it happen? Let's think about it.
So the reason this is coming up is it's come out that the U.S. government will appear in federal court next Tuesday to answer questions regarding Harry's visa application after he admitted to taking several substances. Washington, D.C. based think tank, the Heritage Foundation, is suing Biden administration to force officials into releasing the Duke's immigration files.
Okay, well, that may change things. It sounds like somebody here really doesn't want him here. That could be a very long list. Probably not anybody from the UK. I'm sure they're like, nah, that's cool. Just keep him. But who knows? Maybe it was Megan. Maybe she's preemptively trying to ship him back so she can have a better chance at the divorce lawsuit.
We're laughing about it, but I've actually said that before. I feel confident that it was her that encouraged Dum Dum to write his book in crayon about all the substances. YouTube's weird about those words. That's why we keep saying, dancing around it. But the substances, I'm using big quotation marks, that he used. So that way she could plant seed, or she could set herself up in the future, right? Because then she could be like, look in his book. He was not sober. So, and then now with this hotel thing, he was absentee. He checked himself into a hotel. I feel like this is all coming out of Meghan's camp. Then Daily Mail goes on to show the actual visa application. It looks like it's from the 90s, like DOS or something. I'm really good at computers, but you're supposed to select if you've had issues with substances, and I think that's the point, is they want to get to the bottom of his selections because his book's saying one things and they suspect that this form might say another.
Yeah, those applications look so ancient. They also remind me, I'm sure everybody has probably come across this in some form or another. I remember like in the late 90s, early 2000s, like, high school, college time, applying the jobs, and they would straight up be like, "Have you have you stolen? Will you steal?" It's not too far from that. Will you do drugs? Are you going to create an international incident? I mean, of course he's going to say no. I mean, if you want in, who's going to say yes? Oh, oops. Oh, yes, I did many things. Please let me in. But now that he's in, I'm sure he's like, oh, I have to leave. Who will get custody of me? Who's going to take care of me? Would it be King Pa or Queen Meghan?
I really like your theory, though, that it was Meghan. That I just had this idea in my head that Meghan's got whatever it is, immigration, whatever, visa control, whatever, on speed dial, calling them up, being like, you got to take this whiny ginger off my hands. I thought my plan was going to work out well, but then I realized I'm stuck with the bastard, so you got to come get this guy. He's on all the substances. Come get him.
So Raymond G. Loud, or Lahoud, an immigration lawyer at Norris McLaughlin,
Bless you.
told Daily Mail that Harry could be barred from re-entering the U.S. if he came up against the wrong border guard.
Is that like a border collie?
Yeah, Lassie's going to keep him out. A CBP, I'm not sure what that stands for, officer would not be able to quiz Harry on his previous drug use if he had declared it at the time of his visa application, since the decision would have already been made to issue a waiver. So again, let's hope that those border guards read those copies of Spare.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm kind of jumping ahead because I don't really care what some border agent is speculating, but I do care about this. So this case next Tuesday, was it Tuesday? It's the 6th. At 2:30 p.m. In front of the U.S. District Court, District of Columbia, it says it's a federal judge, and it comes after the think tank failed to make the application public using freedom of information laws in March. Mr. Lahund said that the case could go either way. Well, no shit. Any case could go either way. Jeez.
It's like a game of like baseball or basketball. You go either way. Oh, really?
That's right. Oh, God. It could go either way. The prince could show up stoned. It could go either way. That would be funny. I'm just thinking about that. He goes to the court. I know he doesn't have to be at this court hearing, but what if he showed up and he was just blitzed out of his mind? Like, what's up, judge? Everything they said in there, true. How about the part in Spare where the toilet talked to him? That might tell somebody he might have a little bit of an issue with substances.
Yeah, so it sounds like this is a preliminary thing. Obviously, Harry's not going to be there. He's very busy. He's, tearing up his Doritos and Mountain Dew while poning noobs online.
Wow.
But, I mean, it does have the potential to go somewhere if it gains any traction. I think it's dependent on really who looks at it. And they could make a case, it's hard to make a case against a lot of money, as everyone knows in this country, but I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, maybe Meghan is trying to find a way to make him go home.
Mansion.
Yeah, she wants to keep the mansion. Banishing him to his escape rooms probably isn't enough at this point. But what if he goes back? I mean, which palace will he live in? How will he go on?
Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. I don't think anything will come of it, but it'll be fun to watch. It sounds like the court case, like I say, is the 6th. I already forgot. Whenever they do that, we'll talk about it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's possible something may come out of it. I think at most they may only be able to declare him guilty of writing a weird book full of weird mommy stuff. But, it's worth watching. I mean, something could come out of it. I mean, nothing's going to happen on the 6th or whatever, but it could lead to something more. Maybe he may have to
Speak.
Yeah, he may have to speak, and I'm always down for that. But I mean, this could lead to him having to relocate again, and I mean, where could he go? We're looking at you, Canada. You dropped the ball. How did you get him?
Don't hate crime, our lovely neighbors to the north. Yeah.
I know they outsmarted everybody, and what they were only there like a
Yeah.
month. Yeah. Um, but is he? Maybe he'll go back to the UK. I don't know. I mean, I feel like at some point he's going to have to, beg to be let back in, to the royal family or whatever. Maybe he and Prince Andrew can share a weird house out in the country or something.
Well, on that very weird note, we're going to leave it. But as always, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. As more comes out about this visa situation, we'll talk about it. And Jay, tell everybody what you're working on and where to find you.
Well, you can find me on YouTube as Dr. Bad Vibes. I play video games, and thank you for everybody that subscribed recently. I actually got a comment. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but some of the original stuff I put on YouTube were commercials from the 80s that actually came from a VHS tape. I used to record Saturday morning cartoons while I played Little League, so I wouldn't miss the cartoons.
Oh, that's what Prince Harry does a lot, right? Like that
Yeah,
kind of
I
stuff.
should send him a copy. But yeah, so one of the subscribers went back and watched my compilation of old 80s
Oh, that's cool.
commercials, and uh, honestly, I hadn't thought about those in a while. So that's cool. Those are up there. If you want to see Mario Lopez drink some milk with a neon cow, that's in that video. So yeah, that's maybe I should probably do some more of those. I got a tape of a bunch of my brother found a bunch of tapes in storage. I've got a bunch of 90s commercials also, but primarily I've been doing video games. So that's what you can find me doing. Kind of like Harry, just without the substances.
Ooh, sorry. I was listening to you, but I just looked up and saw this picture, and I'm like, damn, he's beady-eyed. Ooh, just couldn't imagine waking up with that looming over me. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here and for watching. We will bring you more news as it comes out on this, but we hope you have the best day. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.